At first it was just a speck, a data anomaly, a line of light crossing a digital sky. But very quickly it became something else, something terrifying. An object had entered our solar system. Fast, too fast. It wasn't part of any known orbit, didn't belong to the Oort cloud, and certainly wasn't following the rules of natural celestial motion. Even stranger, it came from a place in the sky that scientists have feared for decades, the same constellation from which we once received the infamous "wow" signal. Now 3I Atlas, a new interstellar object, is charging toward the heart of our solar system. But what caught scientists completely off guard was what the James Webb Space Telescope just saw in its trail: anomalous gas emissions, absorption lines that make no sense, and most disturbing of all, a signal. A pattern too structured to be random, a whisper from the darkness that has left top astronomers speechless. Is it natural, a cosmic accident, or something that was meant to be seen? Now the world is watching, because this time, we may not get another chance. From the moment it was first detected, 3 Atlas was already defying expectations, racing through space at a speed exceeding 61 km/s, faster than any known asteroid, comet, or natural body in our neighborhood. It was already well inside Jupiter's orbit and closing in on the Sun. But speed wasn't the only anomaly. Its trajectory was almost too perfect, a narrow, calculated path that just so happened to align precisely with the plane of our solar system's planets. A geometric coincidence so rare that it immediately raised red flags. Unlike other interstellar objects that enter at chaotic angles, 3I Atlas moved like it had a flight plan, skimming the ecliptic as if following pre-programmed waypoints. Even more unsettling, its path would take it dangerously close to Mars, a perfect observational window for our orbiters, before it loops around the Sun. But it will never come close to Earth. In fact, Earth will be on the opposite side of the Sun during its closest approach, as if intentionally avoided. And this is where the suspicions began to grow, because as astronomers looked deeper into its origin, they traced it back to a section of sky that has haunted SETI researchers for decades. Sagittarius, the same region that once emitted a powerful, unexplained radio burst known only as the WOW signal. Now, another object from the same direction is approaching, but this one isn't silent. As 3I Atlas neared the inner solar system, scientists trained the world's most advanced instruments on it, including the Very Large Telescope in Chile and the James Webb Space Telescope itself. And what they found shattered expectations. When sunlight heats a comet, it causes ices to sublimate and metals to vaporize, releasing gases like iron and nickel together, always together, because that's how they form in stars. But this time, something strange happened. Webb detected nickel gas, but no iron, a highly unnatural separation, as if something was selectively releasing only one metal while keeping the other locked away. Even more bizarre was the presence of cyanide, which, although common in comets, spiked far too rapidly compared to the object's distance from the Sun. This wasn't a slow thermal reaction. It was a sharp, explosive chemical release. The kind not normally associated with rocks or ice, but with engineered materials under stress. Some experts, like Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, have publicly entertained the possibility that we are not looking at a natural object at all. What if this is not a comet but machinery? And if so, who or what built it? One of the most chilling aspects of 3 Atlas isn't just its path or its chemical signature, it's the way it glows. Normally, a comet shines by reflecting sunlight. The more reflective it is, the larger it must be. Based on its luminosity, 3I Atlas should be larger than Manhattan Island. But telescopic measurements suggest it's smaller, which means it might be producing its own light, an idea that breaks every known model of how interstellar bodies behave. Artificial light in deep space is something we only associate with spacecraft, satellites, or reactors. They call it the reality collapse hypothesis. According to this idea, 3I Atlas may not be from another star in the traditional sense, but from another version of the universe altogether, not a different location in space, but a different formational layer of reality. The theory suggests that some objects may cross boundaries between quantum states, bringing with them the physical code of another universe's rules. And when they do, our own systems, biological, physical, formational, begin to fracture under the pressure of incompatible logic. Could this explain the strange signal, the distortions in time, the mirrored data from Voyager's golden record? Could this be why everything we send into deep space seems to vanish or come back wrong? If 3 Atlas is bleeding through the seams of dimensional logic, then we are not just observing a foreign object. We are witnessing a collision of realities, one that may already be tearing holes in our own. So here we are 20 acts deep into a mystery that still refuses to call itself by name, a comet that isn't a comet, a trajectory too perfect, a chemical signature too artificial, a signal too precise to be an accident. Heat that doesn't come from the sun, time that bends, matter that doesn't behave, and silence everywhere, broken only by the low hum of something ancient sliding across the edge of perception. The James Webb Telescope was built to look back in time, to show us the birth of galaxies, to trace the fingerprints of creation itself. But what it has found instead is something here, now, and most disturbingly, aware. We thought we were looking outward, but maybe we were being drawn, guided, to something that was always meant to be found. Not because it wanted to be discovered, but because we were finally ready to see it. And still, after all the data, all the theories, all the fear, one possibility remains, echoing in the darkest corners of what we dare not say aloud. What if the signal wasn't a message? What if it was a mirror? A test not of intelligence but of reaction. A pattern carefully designed to reflect our own fears, our own ambitions, our own hunger to know. And now that we've looked too closely, now that we've started listening, we can't pretend we haven't heard it. Maybe the signal wasn't meant for us to answer. Maybe it was meant to see what we would become once we believed we were not alone. Because now, we're not just looking into deep space anymore, we're looking into ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, we were the ones being decoded all along. If this story made your skin crawl, if you're still questioning whether 3 Atlas is a comet, a machine, or something else entirely, if you believe there's more to this object than science dares to admit, let your voice be heard. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think 3I Atlas is natural or the beginning of something we were never meant to see? Subscribe to the channel. We don't chase clickbait, we chase the signals others ignore.